Hey guys, welcome back to the Crafty Capricorn. It's been a bit. I took a little break from video making because I just was in some burnout, and I did some creating just for myself and with no pressure of posting or sharing on social media, and it has done wonders for my creativity on all sides. So I wanted to come back into video making or show and tell type sharing by participating in the Kia Creates Winter Journal Challenge. And I wanted to document the handmade gifts that I have made for my daughter for Christmas this year. And I wanted to do a little bit of journal quote unquote catch up by working in her Hobonichi that has long languished this year, unfortunately. But I do have some ideas for some backfilling, especially because it is the A6 size. It's not honestly that difficult to journal quite a bit in one sitting. And so because I did not repurchase one of these for 2026, I have a different strategy for memory keeping. I figured that I could spend any time that I feel like doing it just backfilling in the future. So I'm fine with doing this retroactively, not in 2025. So I will be doing some memory keeping in this journal about the makes here, because I've done this before. As you can see, I have previously documented some Barbie clothes that I made for her, and I'm really sorry about the lighting, you guys. I live in the Pacific Northwest, and it has just been raining cats and dogs for weeks on end, and this is like the middle of the day, so this is seriously the best I could do. Sorry about that. But yeah, I documented some Barbie clothes that I made for her in here, and I have done some other memory keeping. So I enjoy doing this in bulk. And so my idea for my prompt for day 20, gifts and garlands, is I wanted to document everything that you see here, everything that I have made for Christmas, and capture it in the journal. But before we do the little journal spread together, because I'm probably going to just do a time lapse for you and put some music on, I wanted to show you what I am going to be documenting like for yourself, so you can see everything that I've made over the last couple of months. So let us get started on the little bit of a gift show and tell for you guys. I got a pretty early start on my Christmas makes this year. I began my sewing in, I want to say late October, maybe early November. So I've been at this for quite a while. This was not just over the last couple of weeks. It's been longer than that. And this is everything that I've managed to make. So we'll start with the biggest one because it's kind of difficult to show you because it's actually her size. But I made this awesome, get back here. I made this awesome unicorn jacket that has some yarn, a yarn mane, and it has the little horn and ears, and just look at this lining. I mean, how cute is that? And this is the Pixie Pea Coat by Twig and Tail Patterns, and it is the animal expansion. And one thing I forgot about is that I need to finish the sleeves, but they are designed to basically just roll up and be a custom length, and there's plenty of, ease, or like this is supposed to be kind of an oversized situation. And this would probably be about a size 4 or 5T US, but anyways, so I did also do these pockets with some matching color trim and the lining on the inside. And then Oh, it just makes me smile with delight. And this cool button, the closure is really neat actually. So it's this loop with this cool like braided trim that I had. And it's just a single button closure. I love so much because I've had this button for probably over a decade just floating around in my stash. And it was red before, and I always was like, I don't really know what I should make with this. It's so cute, but what do I make? Anyways, so I painted it with some UV nail polish and some spray paint. It's just perfect, I think, for the unicorn look of this coat. I think it really adds to the whimsy, but yeah, I'm so pleased with it, and it is just as adorable as you might imagine on, as it is just looking at it here. The only thing I wish I did a little bit differently is try to poke the filling for the horn down, or I mean up into the unicorn horn point a little bit more, but what can you do? Otherwise, this one was actually super tricky for me to make because this faux fur fabric was a nightmare to sew with. Oh my gosh. I thought I wasn't going to make it, honestly, but I persevered and here we are. So I got to get this stuff wrapped up and under the tree very soon. But yeah, I'm so pleased with this. So while we're on the subject of the coats, let me just grab the dinosaur one really quick. So I decided not to talk you guys through every single detail of the dinosaur jacket, but I did make this one for my daughter's cousin, and overall I'm pretty pleased with how it came out. So I just wanted to show you a little look at some of these details here between the lining and the little felt spikes down the back and a few places that still need stitching. And I'm probably going to end up by changing these little pockets here, but yeah, I'm really pleased with this one too, and so excited to give it to the little recipient on Christmas Day. I made this little rainbow puppy, and this outfit is actually an old outfit that I made her last year so she spotted this one as I was working on it, and I just gave in and let her have it early, but I did something different on this one, which is using felt for the face, and I'm pretty overall pleased with how it looks. I kind of made a couple mistakes and I started panicking, and it looks definitely messier than my previous dolls do. But I love the character of her, and I love that I let myself try something different than what the pattern suggests to do. I also love that this one has like the fluffy rainbow ears. One of them, flaps up, and one of them is secured down. Yeah, I made her with a Kona cotton, and so she's really soft. But yeah, I love her so much. And then I also made this really cute little Christmas reindeer. The fabric here, actually both of these are upcycled from other things that I've made before. And I do that a lot in all the clothes and the dolls that I make her. In fact, that's probably a good segue into all of the clothes. So many cool clothes. This outfit is really cool because this bottom part is an upcycle of one of her old infant dresses, and these are like thrifted scraps. So this is from the pattern hack guide from Studio Sarin, and I made her this little mermaid set, which has that little bra top thing here as a Velcro closure, and the crown has some Velcro, elastic. Look at just how cute this is though, with all the beads and stitching. This one really brought my inner child so much joy to make. Rainbow mermaid tail. And all of these are Studio Saren's patterns that you can buy. So again, make sure to check the description for links to, because I'm not claiming credit for like designing any of these. These are all her patterns. So if you have a little one in your life, or maybe you just want to make one for your own inner child, I highly recommend it. The instructions are so, so good. And then I made this little crown and fairy wings. This fabric is so cool, again, because I thrifted them on a Thrifty Notion, which I will also link below. But they're like an online fabric thrift store. And I bought this bundle of shiny fabrics, like dressy fabrics. And this one came pieced together with all these colors together. And I never would think to pair them with one another. And I'm obsessed. I'm absolutely obsessed with the color story and just the excitement and whimsy, I guess, of a pre-pieced like scrap of this like polyester satin materials. So yeah, I thought I only had teeny tiny pieces of this and I was saving them for something really interesting like this. So really pleased with this little set too. This piece of fabric is also sentimental to me from my fashion school days. So a very cool thing for me as a mom to like pass on to her. And one day I can tell her like every little story behind each of these fabrics, because a lot of them are things that I've had for a long time, or I've upcycled from other things or sourced secondhand. So I really try to make things as sustainable as possible when creating, and everything that I've made here was things that I already had. I did not buy anything new, and I'm so proud of myself for that. And I made this beautiful fancy dress out of this cool satin and pearly tulle, some vintage lace. Oh, I love this one so much. This was meant to be a ballerina set, but the skirt was pretty, not exactly what I was going for, but it definitely will still work, and she will still love it all the same. But I think I'm going to paint the bottom of one of the dolls' feet to look like ballerina shoes and tie a little ribbon around the leg to sort of sell the idea. I also forgot to get out the flower crown. It's in another room, so I'm not going to bother this time, but this set also has a tiny little flower crown for the doll's head, which is pretty cute. And these two just really make my inner teenager super happy. Again, I had these fabrics for a long time and just felt like they spoke to me, and I only had tiny pieces of them, so I decided to make doll clothes out of them, and just makes me so happy. Truly, I would have worn this definitely as a kid, and this one probably as a teenager, but definitely as a kid too. And I also made this little turtleneck shirt, and I tucked it into the dress like to act like a pinafore, because she just doesn't have a whole lot of the darker colors in the collection that she already has. So anyway, I just thought it looked cute together. But yeah, so that is all of the doll clothes that I made over the last probably 4 to 6 weeks-ish. It's been a really good experiment for me, I guess, to create using the things that I have. So, and I'm so proud of each one. So I hope it's interesting to listen to me ramble, but again, I will leave timestamps in case you want to skip around if one of them just isn't as interesting to you, I totally understand. Okay, so this was obviously just a little name bunting that I made out of all scraps of fabrics of things that I've already made for her, like she has somewhere in her room, in her collection somewhere. So I think that's really cool. And I made this using some bag making stabilizer, and then I interfaced the fabric, and I just sort of layered it on top of the interfacing and then cut them out with pinking shears and zigzagged around all the edges. But it didn't take me that long, and I just freehanded all the letters. Love it so much. She's getting a new bed for Christmas as well this year from her grandpa, and it's one of those beds that are like a loft bed, right, where you've got the bed, like a twin bed, and then a place to like play and stuff underneath, and there's like 2 steps that go up to it. So I really just wanted to make something that would like sort of put a personal touch on that bed. So I love that, again, I love that I used all scraps of things. Like this one was actually one of her newborn swaddles. Obviously you guys saw that I just made that mermaid tail out of this fabric. So each one has a story, and I just think it's so cute. All right, last little gift from me as I struggle with these letters to put them to the side is this. So I did purchase a pattern for this one on Etsy, and I do apologize, I don't know how to pronounce the seller's name, but again, just check the description if you want to see the credit and or might be interested in making something like this yourself. But she tells you how to make this cool like dimensional shell outside, but I put my own twist on it, and I ended up by using partially the felt, but also decoupaged cardboard and hot glue to create the rest of the base. So I put my own spin on it. I did not follow the instructions pretty much from this point and creating the doll inside on. So some of this is my own idea, but it's 2 nesting boxes with a little mermaid doll in her seashell bed. And I hand sewed all of the felt. I have never in my life embroidered a human face before, so I just think she looks adorable. So she goes to sleep in her little bed. And then in this side, my daughter is really into the like beauty stuff, makeover stuff of any kind. So my idea was to glue in this vinyl pocket that I made with a little bit of more of these little shells that you see echoed everywhere up here at the top. And then inside the pocket we have a little pretend mirror that I made. And this is supposed to be basically a makeup palette. So you open it with another type of fake mirror and some makeup swatches. I want to do a couple more in here when I think about my felt again. But yeah, I just did a couple. I want to basically echo the colors I've got going on in here. And she has been really into this idea of like boop, 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 boop. So anyway, I know it's not going to be a forever thing, but that's why it's so important to make things like this now, like for me and my own approach to how we spend time together. I just love exploring and honoring her interests. It's one of my favorite things as a mom to do. But yeah, that's it. That's all the stuff that I've made. I'm so proud of myself for being resourceful, and it's been such a joy to create for her. But now, if you've made it this far, you are a very cool person. So if you've made it this far into the video, I would love for you to put like a mermaid emoji in a comment for me. That would really make me smile. So without further ado though, let me clear this away and we can go ahead and work in my Hobonichi. I'm gonna take some photos and things. I'll print those out and come back with some journal stuff. So I'll see you in a little bit. Thanks.